So what hasn't been said about the great Bob Charlebois? Not only got onto a great career off the ice in the academic world, he basically was on the Montreal Canadiens radar for a short while. Didn't work out in the NHL, but he went on to some success in the WHA. Very, very popular player every place he went. And he played for a wide range of squads all across North America. And I think that more in tribute to his ability to adapt to whatever player, whatever team or whatever job he was given on that squad. So Bob Charlebois, born Robert Richard Charlebois in Cornwall, Ontario, 1944. Cornwall, a great area for hockey, of course. Ended up in long-time senior management at Algonquin College in Ottawa, where, of course, he also played for the Nationals back in his WHA days. He worked in the continuing education department at the University of Ottawa, and he was named, actually, Cornwall's best all-around junior athlete in '63, which eventually led him, most deserving, to Cornwall's Hall of Fame in 1996. Now, Cornwall minor hockey, very strong at the time when he was starting to develop. He quickly moved through their midget level and junior ranks before finding himself with the St. Jerome Alouettes of the QMJHL, where he scored 41 goals in 1961. Now, with the Montreal Canadiens, junior Canadiens of the OHA, he put in 3 solid years. 64 his last junior year was his best when he had 78 points in 53 games. Now, he eventually ended up being undrafted. But he ended up, again, with St. Jerome. He was as a 16-year-old, was named to the All-Star team for a league championship squad and also was their Rookie of the Year. Now, the years with the junior Canadiens allowed him to develop his skills with a whole bunch of future NHL Hall of Famers in Montreal Canadiens schooling: Jacques Lemaire, Serge Savard, Jacques Leperrier, Yvan Cournoyer, and Roger Vachon. Now, Cliff Fletcher at the time was a scout for the Canadiens, and Charlebois eventually signed his first professional contract with GM Sam Pollock of the Canadiens. Now, there was high hopes for him in the Montreal system because he turned pro at a very young age, at the age of 20, with the Omaha Knights of the CPHL. Now, he was in the CPHL for 4 seasons with Omaha, Houston, and Memphis, scoring 99 goals. Unfortunately, couldn't make the big club in Montreal because it was packed with prospects, but with the NHL expansion draft, he found himself with the Minnesota North Stars. Now, he eventually played 7 games with Minnesota, scoring 1 goal before being moved to the WHL's Phoenix Roadrunners franchise, where he recorded 31 goals and 30 assists to lead the team. Now, again, when the WHA kicked in, Bob found his true home with the Ottawa Nationals because he was highly regarded by the media and in the NHL, and he felt like with the WHA expansion, players like him could get a great chance of making best of their talent. Now, his hard work and perseverance gave him a berth at the All-Star game after a season of 24 goals and 39 assists, and he later skated with New England and Boston and Hartford, but that first season with Ottawa put him on the map for being one of the Ontario hockey heroes, especially coming from Cornwall, one of the hometown heroes we've been talking to lately. Now, after retiring as a professional hockey player, Charlebois relocated from Hartford to Ottawa. His first coaching job in '76 was head coach of the University of Ottawa men's varsity hockey squad. And he also had successful years leading the Bantam Ottawa West Golden Knights, who won a title in '93, and the CJHL Junior A Gloucester Rangers Championships in '94. Now, following his amateur coaching years, he worked for 10 years as a regional scout for the famous St. Mike's Majors OHL side and the Canada Stallions of the CJHL. Now, after completing his hockey career, he also doubled as administrator of the Department of Continuing Education at U of O. Now, at U of O, he led to an opportunity with Algonquin and a lengthy and successful administrative career, like we mentioned, that lasted 3 decades. Now, Bob started as manager of career development at our own campus of Algonquin. He later moved on to the director of corporate training center in the continuing education department. His progress led to senior ranks at the college, finishing his administrative career in a position of vice president business development of Acer, a division of Algonquin. Now, during his career at Algonquin, he completed his master's degree in education at U of O. He was also selected and sponsored to attend the Harvard Business School. The program required Bob to leave his Ottawa residence to live on campus there, and there we also received his diploma in management development. And as we like to say in the media, where did he find the time? Very busy man, very talented. But just to go over this, just to back up, like I said, his adaptability. Again, he played with St. Jerome Alouettes, Montreal Junior Canadiens, Omaha Knights, Houston Apollos, Phoenix Roadrunners, Memphis South Stars, Minnesota North Stars, Tulsa Oilers, Ottawa National, the New England Whalers, the Cape Codders, and the Bingham Dusters. So 2 decades in hockey, great results. Final WHA totals, 82 points in 188 games, including 32 goals, and 1 goal in 7 Minnesota North Star games. Now, with the Cape Codders, he had his career year with 81 points in 60 games, and also had time to play with New England that season with 1 goal in 8 games. Now, when we talk about these Phoenix Roadrunners years, this was the original Phoenix Roadrunners, not to be confused with the WHA. And a lot of people in the media were kind of surprised that Phoenix never reached out to him, because there was a number of former Phoenix WHL players that eventually ended up with the WHA version. But like I said, wherever he went, very cerebral guy, sort of like the poor man's Ken Dryden. And what really stands out for a lot of people in the media, he took a really cool shot in his Minnesota North Star jersey. He looked like your typical Minnesota North Star player of the late 60s. Young, handsome, looks very educated, because Minnesota had a lot of talented players on the team. And, Minnesota meant a lot in the NHL back there, and Charlebois was part of that. That's something that, when you're Minnesota North Star alumni, and we have a great affection for North Stars because of Danny Grant and the various players, Fred Harvey, the Brunswickers that have played on the squad, and Charlebois, again, like I've heard from a lot of people, a decent dude, as we like to say. Have a good day. Bye.